Yes, we are currently on a flight to Florida, the United States. On the way, we will make a stop in Canada. I will have a meeting with Canada's Prime Minister, Mark Carney. Together, we plan to speak online with European leaders. We will go through all the issues, provide updates, and exchange details of the documents that I will be discussing with the President of the United States. And of course, among all these details, you know which issues are sensitive. All of these issues will be raised.
In a stark warning ahead of a critical showdown, President Donald Trump has declared himself the final authority over any peace deal between Ukraine and Russia. Speaking exclusively to Politico, Trump delivered a chilling message to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky just days before their expected meeting in Florida. He doesn't have anything until I approve it. 8 words, a clear signal, and a reminder of who now holds the leverage. Zelensky is arriving with a new 20-point peace plan, described by Ukrainian officials as 90% ready. The proposal includes a demilitarized zone, discussions on U.S. security guarantees, control of the Donbas region, and the future of the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant.
We have a broad agenda, and it will be over the weekend. I think that on Sunday in Florida, I will be meeting with U.S. President Donald Trump. We will be discussing these documents, as I said. Security guarantees. There are several documents in this block, and it would be desirable to find an opportunity to discuss them all. Next is the economic agreement. There are some basic developments there, although there will be several agreements, and we need to discuss the direction here. I don't know. I can't say right now whether anything will be finalized by the end. The purpose of this meeting is to finalize as much as we can, and whether the territorial issues will be discussed, all the issues on which we have questions and disagreements, our side will definitely raise them. To be honest, the 20-point plan we have been working on is 90% ready. Our task is to make sure that everything is 100% ready. It is not easy, and no one is saying that it will be 100% ready right away. But nonetheless, we must bring the desired result closer with every such meeting, with every such conversation.
But Trump isn't rushing to endorse it. Instead, he's making it clear, nothing moves forward without his sign-off. The comments underline a growing reality. Ukraine's future may now hinge on persuading Trump that enough has been conceded. Behind the scenes, Washington has already been pressing Kyiv to soften its original demands, and Trump, at times, has shown little patience for prolonged negotiations, even appearing willing to lean toward Moscow if it brings the war to an end. Russia, meanwhile, has barely budged. Moscow has shown no interest in Zelensky's proposal, continuing to demand full control over Donetsk, while Ukraine insists any demilitarized zone must include a Russian withdrawal.
You mentioned contacts between representatives of the Russian and U.S. administrations on the orders of Russian President Vladimir Putin after analyzing the document brought by Russian presidential aide Kirill Dmitriev. Can you say what these documents are? How does the Kremlin assess them, and at what level did these contacts take place?
I cannot disclose this to you. We still believe that currently spreading this information could negatively impact the negotiation process. Hence, there was such a telephone contact. We decided to continue the dialogue. This is the only thing we can say.
Information was published about Putin's meeting with business sector. In particular, it mentions the issue of exchanging territories with Ukraine and joint management of the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant with the Americans. Have you seen this material, and how would you comment on it?
In general, the discussions touched on themes that have been repeatedly raised in Western media and by the Kiev regime regarding the peace settlement process. These topics were mentioned and discussed. The media has broadly represented this topic in various ways. Therefore, these topics were mentioned.
who facilitated the contacts between Moscow and Washington from the president's administration and from the White House?
I can say that from the president's administration, these were high-ranking individuals.
And from the White House side?
There were several interlocutors.
The gap remains vast. Still, Trump insists the meeting could be productive. "I think it's going to go good with him," he said. "I think it's going to go good with Putin." The president added he expects to speak with Vladimir Putin soon, signaling renewed direct engagement between Washington and Moscow. Trump also pointed to mounting pressure inside Russia. Their economy is in tough shape, very tough shape. For Zelenskyy, the stakes could not be higher. This meeting may define not just the next phase of diplomacy, but whether Ukraine's vision for peace survives at all. Because now, by Trump's own words, nothing is real, nothing is final until he approves it.